Hello, good evening, friends. Anna Zugari here, if we haven't met yet. I'm Anna, and I'm just a basic girl with a little extra. And I am so glad that my internet is working, that hopefully it'll stay that way, because I have an amazing guest today. So, as I mentioned before, if you have been with us for a while, every month I'm grabbing a topic and I'm inviting people that are experts in that topic. In this episode, I have an expert in entertaining children. And as he says it, I'm going to read this because through movement, singing, laughing, he's helping kids come out of their shells. And I was like, where were you when my daughter was little? And because I think her personality being very shy and not able to express herself as much as other kids, this would have been amazing for her. But so I don't want to take a lot of time me talking because I want him to tell us all about what he does. Hey, Marcus, thank you so much for being here, friend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support always. So my guess, his name, and I'm gonna read this too because it's amazing. Um, Mr. Matt, and I'm going to say his last name probably wrong, Mazur, and he'll correct it. Okay, perfect. I said it right. Is the executive director of autismfriendlyshows.com and Turtle Dance Music. He loves to help kids of all abilities to come out of their shells. He has performed engaging music programs and concerts for thousands of children and families through the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic regions of the United States and now internationally with virtual performances. Mr. Matt received his Bachelor's of Fine Arts from New York University's School of the Arts. He received his graduate degree in developmental models of autism intervention from the Center of Autism and Early Childhood Mental Health and his master degree in theater studies focusing the theater of young audiences at Montclair State University. And I probably chopped some of those names out, but I just want to say that he is very talented and I love the work he does. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my friend, Mr. Matt. Hello.
What up?
Thank you so much for being here. I
Yo.
appreciate it. Yes, it's gonna be tonight is gonna be full of sound effects, I'm sure.
Well, I think the real thing about tonight is that tonight I'm going to help people come out of their shells. I mean, that's the real goal of tonight. Like my buddy Marcus is in the chat. What up, Marcus? How you doing, man? I'm bananas for Marcus Schaub. He's like one of the coolest people in the world. I mean, literally when I talk about him, it makes me bananas. Like I love him and my other streamer buddies so much. It's the best, and I love being here with you tonight. I get so excited to get invited on podcasts and shows and to talk about my work. Because the challenge is, I'm going to go back to my normal self. The challenge is, screen time is a funny thing for kids, but FaceTime is a very different animal. And it's this new technology. In some ways, it's as controversial as like the Apple headset and the Meta headset. People are like, what's the use for that? And it is action time, yes. But what we're doing, I truly believe, is changing the world. It's making the world better. And I totally want to play some music for you, but I think do you want some music?
I do, but I also have a lot of questions for you. So whatever you want to do a little bit of music to get us intro for the questions.
Let's jump right into the questions. Let's do it.
Sounds great. Okay. Well, for people that just don't understand just yet, what is it that you do? Can you tell us in a very basic way the little extra amazing things that you bring to this world by doing what you do well.
Well, it's really I think there's only one way I could really describe it, and the way to describe it would be like this: head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Beep, beep. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. So when I'm working with the kids, we do virtual music programs and shows, and we get kids out of their shells. We get kids up and jumping and dancing, and everyone's like, all right, Matt, enough of the unicorn horn. But we like to get kids moving and dancing. I was an in-person music provider for New York Public Library, Queens Public Library, major autism centers and schools, coming in and doing big assemblies and music classes and shows. And for the longest time, I was worried about two things. All the driving that I was doing, right? As musicians, we're trained to, you get a gig, you go anywhere. I was like, I'll work with anyone, anywhere. I'll go to New Orleans. I'll go to Michigan. I'll go to, you name it. I'll go Texas. I'll go and I'll fly out there. I'll drive there. I'll go to Albany, New York. I'll go to Connecticut, go to Delaware, and, Eastern Long Island, wherever, and I'll play shows. But I started worrying about how much I was driving because of climate change. I put 180,000 miles on my car. Oh, wow. And then the other thing is driving is super dangerous, man. Mm-hmm. And I became a father. And one other thing I noticed was the growth of YouTube. YouTube is surging. Some kids don't even have televisions. They don't watch mainstream, children's, think like PBS, Nickelodeon. I mean, They watch some of that stuff, but now they all watch it through YouTube, through Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. Everything happens through a laptop now.
Yep.
Or a phone. Or an iPad, because this is the first generation of kids growing up with iPads. And the reality is that parents, including myself, I was a big anti-screen timer based on my graduate work. And I think one of the problems with screen time is not actually the screens themselves. It's the way that the content is presented and the way that we interact with the kids. So like you and I are talking right now. Mm-hmm. This is live. Like we're building a relationship. And that is at the heart of early learning. And I think what Mr. Rogers did, being like, hey, what color is this? Blue. That's right. It's blue. But like he's just like pausing, and a lot of performers do that. And it's amazing. And some of them do it really well. But I think there's like, hey, Anna, what color is this?
Blue.
Right. I think there's a very different energy that happens when you're directly talking to. I'm looking in your eyes. Mm-hmm. And we're engaging with each other. So the long and the short, I know this is a very long-winded way of saying this. I do 30-minute high energy music and movement performances. The kids are up and dancing the entire time. I even while I'm here, like I can show you some footage of it, but this is from, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I didn't ever hear. First off, here's me as a little kid. I think you should just see this. This is like a great photo. That's just me as a little kid at the dentist office. But here's like a sample of like some of our stuff, where we're dancing and the kids are having the best time ever. And the kids, I know I have my logos here. But the kids, they just get up and they just start dancing. And I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, and these kids are in Louisiana. So we are like doing what you and I are doing right now, except I'm performing my music concert remotely. And so with a lot of my work, I like to say that remote is the GOAT. It's the greatest of all time. It's this brand new medium. And my suspicion, right, is that I'm one of the first people who got here. Yeah. I'm one of the first people because I stuck with it. And I stuck with it, especially when people told me I would fail. They told me virtual was going anywhere. And I've actually been part of several groups where we're all in agreement that that's not the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's the skill set of the future, especially with, you know, and I don't say this at all in any of my marketing or advertising. AI plays a big role in why I'm
Yeah.
teaching people about this medium. I think it's all well and good that people like come back into the office and there's so much to in-person interaction. I think the people who are going to fare the best in the workforce are the people who have these remote working skill sets.
Yeah. 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 I totally agree with that. And I I think can very much relate to what you're saying because again, as a children's pastor, like it, technology and learning, it's always fun for me, right? So when
Yeah.
the pandemic hit and I was like already starting Zoom, Bible studies with kids that couldn't come to church, and my friends that worked at churches like, how are you doing that? And like, how's,
Yeah.
like, they didn't know the part of the technology that they were like, oh, but it doesn't feel the same. And I'm like, well, this
Mm-hmm.
is better than nothing. And just trying to engage and open that concept to other people, like, this is going to work because, like you just mentioned, we're looking eye to eye, right? And it's a
Yes.
skill that you're learning, and I totally agree. Totally agree.
And the challenging thing is, and Marcus brings up a good point too, and this was so hard at the beginning of the pandemic. We all had to be separate from each other. And one thing I was saying to people was, hold on, because when we can get back in
Yeah.
together and be together physically in the same space, people can gather in the community room, in the music room, in the gym, in the classroom, and you know, we could do these programs together. And I was
Yeah.
right. They absolutely work. So a lot of people just like now they're seeing that it works, and they're the other thing. Seth Godin says something really important. He's a thought leader in the marketing space. He says, "Be so good that people can't ignore you." And a
Mm.
lot of people ignore me. I would say over 50% of my clients, probably more, did not reuse me after the pandemic because I
Mm.
stayed virtual.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all slowly coming back to me being like, all right, we're seeing all these really good reviews come in, you know, and like, I think there's a lot of other things happening in the culture. Miss Rachel for Littles, who I went to NYU with, um, she, you know, like we're essentially the same age, and
Mm-hmm.
she has what, like, let's look this up right now, 4.4 million subscribers on YouTube.
Something like
I'm
that.
gonna do YouTube Miss Rachel for Littles. Every week her subscribership number goes up by, yeah, now it's at 4.73, so she'll be at like 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I checked, it was like 4.4 million. So
Wow.
so every new parent is using her songs and music videos. It's not very different from what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
except the big difference between what I'm doing and what she's doing, and she's doing a phenomenal job. She's doing an amazing job. All her work is pre-recorded. Live
Mm.
is a whole other animal and a whole other
Yeah.
skill set.
Yeah.
It involves what I call tech confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah.
only way you can have that tech confidence, that camera confidence, and that what I call virtual public speaking, virtual classroom management, is you got to put in your 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Exactly. Yes. And I admire so much your endurance. And because when you and I met a couple of years ago
Yeah.
during the Lita challenge, and I remember you saying like what you were trying to do.
Hmm.
And because I was like, I've never seen anything like that. And we all are, kind of like when something new hits, right? Like, I don't know, like the AI thing now, right? We're all like, oh, it's gonna take jobs and it's gonna,
It
take over
already
the
is
world.
taking jobs.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. But then again, it's also gonna generate jobs because there's gonna be the people that know how to use it, you know?
Yes.
So in a right way. And there's also going to be people that use it in the wrong way. But
I'll give you a prime example. I had a friend who worked in the Spanish translation business, and he was making a good living, and now that work is all gone. It's all dried up. And it's going to start and I said that about my field too. I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of the point. The thing I'm raising. And again, the main thing is there's so dude. There's so many other reasons, by the way, that like I think this and I tell myself don't talk about AI because AI, it's promoting the wrong thing, right? Yeah. AI is a sub thing, and yeah, like I think it's as a creative medium, there's an intimacy in virtual that is unmatched. I'll show you this because I just want to pull this up really quickly. I don't know if I have a photo of it anywhere here. But oh wow, this is a lot of photographs. I'm like looking for this one specific photograph. I was live streaming. Ba 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 la 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 la. Here we
but
go.
see, I just thought about this, what you said about your friend, because I do translations too, and the AI could do the translations in paper, but it cannot do this. Like if you were talking right now and I was your simultaneous translator, AI, people will have to read it, right? I guess.
Yeah. Well, yes. And
I mean, they can do voice, but the human interaction, even in the camera, I think it will be different.
And well, let me show you this because this is what I want to pull up, and just like another, just really what I call a holy reason, because I really think that there's something almost religious about this medium. And it's like you don't have to be religious to like this medium, but I really feel like this medium is from God. It's so magical that it works. This is my friend Tim, and Tim is from Australia. He's from outside of Sydney, and a mutual friend connected us at the beginning of the pandemic. We did a Zoom show together. I was living in New York City, and he lived in a place called Wollongong, which is outside Sydney. And, halfway around the world, and we did a concert together, even though, the tech isn't where it is today. And then he was like, hey, I'm in New York. And I drove up to New York, and he and I hung out in real life. Yeah. And that's the magic of virtual, is like, it's not that we stay disconnected from each other. Right. It's that we build these new connections with people who we never, including you and me. You and me have never met in person, and yet we have a relationship through Facebook, through Instagram, through TikTok, through YouTube. There's so many ways to build real relationships with people. Yeah. And then the other thing that's exciting is the thing that was not possible before. Now, this is where we get real exciting, is now we're able to, and I want to see if I can get this to play. It just is like loading up over here. Now it's possible to play with other musicians. Open. Let me see if I can get this open up. There we go. Here's my session from last night. And let me see if I can get this up. Yeah. Thing that I did today. And then let's. What about your goats? Let's see it. Held a ladybug. I held a ladybug in Towson, Maryland. And it came with me to the movie theater in my hands. I held a ladybug in my hands. The ladybug in my hand. So again, and this is just like raw footage. This is not like I didn't like prepare anything over here, but we're all in separate states. Wow. And we're all playing synced up. And this was, by the way, this was our first time working with this bass player. Wow. So what you're also might not be understanding is I was like teaching him as we were improvising through the set how to fix up his internet. So he's in West Virginia. We're in Maryland. This person is in Central Maryland. So we're all in 4 different locations, and we're all synced up. We're all hearing each other in our headphones. Here's like a little earlier in the rehearsal, like when we were just, it was three of us, and give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. Let's see if we can go back a little bit here. Sorry, because I'm like live pulling this up.
Just loaded.
I just want to show people how like amazing this is. I give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. I forgot to do something important. I need to spotlight all of us. And I'm also like not only just improvising and singing. Now this old man, he played 6. He was playing bass, 4 kicks with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home, bass solo. This is all live. And can I tell you something that's amazing? This old man, people are like, I've seen that before. I'm like, no, you haven't. This is crazy.
I haven't. Yeah.
And what people are doing is they're like, oh, well, I've seen pre-recorded videos be cut and edited together so they're synced up. And I'm like, no, sister. Here, we're live. We're all live, and we're talking to each other. We can talk to the audience on Zoom. This is a new innovation. It's a ground that just came out in April. And now Zoom is integrating something into their platform so musicians could be synced up together, which was not possible because when you would try and play together, like if you would count, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say I would clap on the 4. If we're in the same room, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But if you're on Zoom, the other person, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like late.
Like delayed.
Like, yeah. It's delayed.
There's no delay. Yeah.
And what they fixed is they found a way to take the sounds going through our phone lines and they mix together so that all the musicians hear everything.
Yeah.
Like we're in the room together.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And not only that, you can record each person's track professionally, separately, and mixed together. And it's available as a file on your computer through farplay.io. And then you can send it to your producer and you can mix it. And you got an album. You don't even need to go to a studio anymore.
Right.
You could just set up a home studio now. And most musicians have the gear for this for recording. So they use the same gear for recording. And they use the same gear when they're on the road.
That's so impressive and interesting.
And I think about all the people who told me that this medium was going nowhere, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just here early.
Right.
And I think if the pandemic hadn't happened, I would be 10 years early. Yeah. No two ways about it. I would be 10 years early. But because everybody went online and saw what the future looked like, I might only be 2 or 3 years early.
Yes. I mean, I've witnessed your growth in the last year because I've been following you since we met in Lita, because I just thought that this was so innovative. And as my love for live streaming, I'm like, he's nailing it. And my love for children and for them to have the ability to move and dance and sing without, I think about the kids that are with disabilities that can't really go somewhere, or the shy ones, or you mentioned kids with autism. So is the platform and the way that you are doing this is definitely touching many lives.
Well, now think about this. Now, from my graduate degree, right? Let's say I'm singing Mary Had a Little Lamb to the kids, and I can't in person turn into a sheep. Maybe I can have a felt board, or I could cut something out. I just want to turn up my guitar a little bit. My headphones might be low. I had a little audio thing I needed to fix today. But if I want to do like, Mary had a little lamb, A little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow. Jump up and down. They jumped up and down at school one day. School one day. School one day. They jumped up and down at school one day when they went to school. So I can do these whole songs where I tell the kids the movements, or let's say like I want to do like let's go driving in a car. I'd be like, everybody get in your car and go. Let's go ride in a car. Let's, yes, Anna, I love it. Let's go ride in a car. Anna, can you go beep beep?
Beep beep.
Go. Now, what's really even cooler than this, right? I've learned how to do all my shows because the rest of the audience has to be on mute. Only one. So like, let's say, have you ever been in those church sermons? Yes, Marcus, with the emoji game. Ow, ow! Have you been in those where they're just, and it's the kiss of death, and like everybody unmute and sing together, or the horrible Zoom where everyone sings happy birthday. Happy birthday. When you do a music program, only one person should be unmuted if you don't have the low latency software that syncs up people, right? Mm-hmm. If you, like me, have that low latency software, I could connect to a classroom within 500 miles of me. No one has to be unmuted. We could do call and responses. We could sing together. I could say, hey, Anna, tell me your favorite vehicle. What do you like to drive in? And you give me an answer. Like, throw something out there.
Yeah, a Volkswagen.
All right. Well, let's just play with me because I only have so many filters. Can you say a plane?
A plane.
Amazing! How did you know?
Wow.
And then I could sing about being a plane. Obviously, I have some limitations and restrictions, but like, again, like I have like a motorcycle, and I have a train. I have like the basics. I have a rowboat. I have a rocket ship. I got the essentials, right?
Yes.
But there's lots of opportunities for call and response. And one thing I've heard teachers say, and we're really big with cyber schools. We've had cyber schools, and cyber schools are fascinating because every state has a cyber school where kids, let's say you live in a rural area, or there's no good school in your area, or you failed out of school and you want an alternative. Kids who are traveling, athletes or actors, politicians' children, they go to these virtual online schools, and they loved our work so much. They were like, we hired famous YouTubers for thousands and thousands of dollars, and we want to ask them for a refund because your show was a billion times better than what they did.
Yeah. So it's just amazing. Yeah, go ahead.
But one of my big Achilles heels, I created some amazing content for YouTube, but as you know, the make or break for YouTube is how great your thumbnails are and your descriptions. My thumbnails are atrocious. I put no work in my thumbnails. Zero work. Literally zero work. And I put zero work into how people should travel through my channel. And I think for children's music, it really needs to be highly curated. So one of our goals for this summer is to curate our children's music channel, because right now we only have 518 subscribers. I do shows for like hundreds of kids, and I wasn't going, hey, by the way, everyone subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? I should have been doing
up organically, but that's a good number. I can't imagine what would happen if you or when you do that serious work on that.
And even at the beginning of the pandemic, I should have been like, here's a QR code. You guys can like check out our YouTube channel. And I maybe could have put more work into. But
see, that's the thing, Matt, that you are an artist. You are not a publicist, or your job, it's more into creating the content than actually taking those little parts. And I know as a content creator, we need to take care of the marketing and the newsletters and all that stuff to start driving those people into our channels and grow them. But it's hard because your heart is into making music and creating more content for the children than, oh, I need to make a more marketing like thumbnail, right?
Well, here's the other, and that's not my zone of genius. I'm learning this thing. My zone of genius is running the shows, running the
Right,
shows, creating the content.
right.
But I'm learning how to delegate and outsource some of that work. And I'm going to be, everyone, can I be personal and honest for a second here? The
Absolutely.
pandemic was
We're
so
very
rough.
basic here.
So rough. I before the pandemic, when I was an in-person, and this is a new image I'm shaping and crafting of myself. Before the pandemic, I was a married guy. I had a son, and my whole image was like Mr. Rogers. I'm the perfect guy. I exercise. I'm the best husband ever. I'm a great father. Like I live for my wife and my son, and I do all this stuff. And when the pandemic happened, everything fell apart. And my former wife and I got divorced. And it's something I never thought was going to happen in my life. And it happened. And I couldn't control it. And
Right.
I had to learn to let go of control. And I realized, like, as an in-person performer, I was so attracted to the chaos. The chaos of waking up at 4 or 5 or 6 a.m., fighting traffic, driving to that show, setting up the gear. The audience walks in early and I'm not ready yet. And I'm tired and I have to impress the audience. And I was so attracted to this life of chaos that I wasn't putting anything into my own tank. I was people pleasing and taking care of everyone else except for myself. And I was always walking on eggshells. I was working with clients who had me walking on eggshells. And a lot of that is rooted in PTSD from my own childhood. And I'm now creating this new image that I'm this, and there's a lot of us out there.
Yeah.
I'm this single father who's
Yeah.
a full-time YouTuber and live streamer now, who really believes in this medium and believes that, loneliness is the worst sickness.
Yeah.
And this medium cures that sickness.
Wow.
And as
Yeah.
you saw with Tim, who I met from Australia, it's opening up whole new opportunities for friendships and hobbies and getting together. I don't want to go on too many tangents here, and it also like gives me more time to be with my son.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And the goal of these programs, right? This is gonna blow your mind because this is what it's about.
Yeah.
As a parent, one reason I love the library is no matter how stressful the day is, when I sit down and read a picture book, not an ebook, not an iPad, a picture book from the library, I feel calm and at ease with my son.
That's
And when
awesome.
I do my programs, I want the parents and the grandparents and the caregivers to sit with their kids and have the best time ever with their kids. Kind of like watching a Pixar movie.
Right.
I want them to have the best time ever at our programs. I want it to be a shared communal experience. And we're building this new localness,
Yeah.
You could be spread out through, like, I feel like you're in the room next to me. Where are you located right now?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
And I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, and I feel like you are sitting right across the table from me.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel the same way. Feel the same way. Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is your show. I'm so used to
No.
dominating and like leading. Like,
Yeah.
let me let go of control. You take it, Marcus.
No.
Marcus in the chat. He's in where? Switzerland.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I always get it wrong with New Zealand. It's with a Z.
New
But,
Zealand and New Zealand and Switzerland are two very different countries.
yeah, I know. And I just can't get it right. But I'm pretty sure he's in Switzerland. I'm pretty sure. But and kudos to him because he's such a supporter of my show, and he stays up really, really late. But no, I let you talk because it's important. And last Sunday, it was Father's Day, and I had a coach here in that show that talk about fatherhood, and that a lot of men, how they have suffered in different ways the culture of bringing and things like, you can't cry because you're a man, or you can demonstrate your emotions as much as ladies do, because that's not how men should be, and this and that. So it's that's not true. Actually, the kids need to know that you love them, and they need that
Yeah.
affection and that affirmation and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I also see, I'm a woman of faith, right? I'm a
Yeah.
believer in God, in Jesus, and I hope and pray that when people meet me in person, they see the same person that they see on the screen, on Facebook, at the store, at work. And Matt, since I met you, I see the same person on your personal Facebook as the
Mhm.
same as you're doing a show. And when I see the pictures with your son and of the things that you do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's melting my heart. And I've prayed for both of you often, because I think you have something amazing going on right there. Look at him. He is gorgeous and funny, and he's so sweet.
Now, and I also want, and one thing my friend Miss Rachel for Littles has done in her social media, which I think is great, is millennials. We're very guilty of doing this. We present this picture perfect thing on social media. I'm too
Mm,
super guilty of doing it. And I think it's really important to blend that in with talking about the thing like, you know, some mommies and daddies don't stay together.
mhm.
And that's actually more normal and sometimes
Yeah,
more healthy than
yeah.
mommies and daddies staying together and hating each other for the rest of their
Oh,
lives.
absolutely. I mean,
And
there's the protection part
yeah,
of a family. Yeah, I understand.
and I never thought, and I'll put this out there, I never thought alcoholism would touch my life, and
Mm.
it did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not an alcoholic, but what I'm learning about the disease of alcoholism, and again, like I could go the rest of my life without drinking or touching a drink. My former wife, it's in her family. It's even
Mm.
in parts of my family. It's not in my life personally, but I've talked to so many people on Zoom in AA and Al-Anon meetings, and I've learned about so many people's stories over Zoom. And I really think like when people say Zoom is going away, virtual is going away, it
Yeah, thank
literally pulled me out of depression
you.
and got me back into homeostasis and on my feet. And empathy is really the thing that does that.
Yeah.
Like telling your story, putting your situation in context. And, I think that the thing that's really important is like, one day I do want to do a solo show and do like an hour-long show on Zoom, invite people all over the world and like tell my story.
Yeah.
I've always been a big,
Powerful.
and but I'm not doing that right now just because I'll tell you one last big mistake I've made is that with this work that I'm doing, there's a hundred, there's hundreds of ways, hundreds and hundreds of ways that I could be super successful with this medium. There's
Hmm.
hundreds of ways that I could make money doing this. And I say that as like not to sound greedy or anything. It's expensive. We
Hmm.
have
Right.
I pay 150 for the internet. I pay for lights and to fix camera equipment and gear and
Oh
paying
yeah, I
like
know it. Hmm.
subscriptions to like some of our streaming services and so like there is the computer is my new car in many
Mm.
ways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when the newest computer comes out with faster processing and you need more memory, because I've had so many situations where I've run out of memory on my laptop and I have videos to edit,
Yeah.
stuff to get up on YouTube and social media. So like one of the problems is there's so many different ways you can make money in this. Yeah, that's right, Marcus. Zoom is used in a suboptimal way. It's incredible. It's an amazing platform, and so there's so many different ways you could be going live on YouTube. There's Mark Rebier, who is doing this amazing thing. He's going all over New York City, and he's going live, and like 500,000 people watch his live stream while he like improvises sets. That's not for kids, but it's amazing. He's changing the world.
Right.
There's things like Twitch. You could record videos and sell videos, and you could have a YouTube channel like Miss Rachel for Littles. You could do YouTubes, and I'm on Meetup, and at 12:30 every day we do an international music class where kids from all over the world can sign up on meetup.com. It's the best homeschool music class because we've got a lot of homeschoolers. We have 200 people in the group so far. We started 2 months ago. Every day at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, people join in from all over the world, and we make music together on Zoom.
Out. Yeah, absolutely. We need to check it out. And Matt, I could be talking to you all day, all night, because you have so much to share. But I want our friends to please don't forget to check out, his website. I think this is where they can, the barcode. And here's your email, right?
If you scan this QR code with your phone, with your phone's camera, it will take you to a link tree that will have demos of our work, our website, all that stuff. I wonder if it will still work with the StreamYard logo in there.
Yeah,
I think it'll work. Let me try it out here. It is it's not working because the StreamYard logo is in the way.
Yeah. Where is it?
But that's okay. Hold on, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll go now. Yes, work. Or what if I did this? Hold on. Let me see if I can get that working. No, that also is now. Oh, this is backfiring. Just go to turtledancemusic.com.
Yeah, and I'll if you send it to me, I'll also put it in the show notes or a picture in the thumbnail. Yeah.
This is another reason why, again, it's just like whatever you're doing, you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said this in his show on Netflix. He's like, I don't care. 50% is making the movie, 50% is marketing the movie. You got the market. You got we go early to bed, early to rise, go out there and advertise.
That's
like
funny.
Ted Turner said.
Yeah, well, we need to do it. But friends, I invite you to share this stream. And, I'm also, don't forget to check out So Basic with a Little Extra podcast on iTunes and Spotify. And I'm going to have the highlights of our conversation today so we can spread the word a little bit more. So I still don't have my 500 subscribers like you do, but we'll get there. And I love the work you do again. And I am so thankful that you agreed to do this today. And any final words that you want to share with our friends?
A couple of things. First off, I just want to thank you because you are one of the people, and I'm saying this as genuinely as possible. We could focus on the people the haters, the people who said it's going to fail. I've had clients say, when you decide to go back to in-person, reach out to us. We don't want anything to do with this virtual stuff. I've had people, and again, could be a generation. It is a generational thing, right? I don't blame them because they did not grow up with the tech. Some folks, it is so alien, computers. But like, and I it would be like if someone asked me to do something and I had no language for it. You are one of the people who very early on were like, what you're doing is great. Your content is awesome. Like you and like several other people that we know, from Paul Duncan and oh my goodness, there's so many other people from our groups who've just been rooting for me on the sidelines. And it really is the thing that has kept this little engine going. And I would say the biggest thing is we really want to get the word out there to people. And we know we have this amazing service. And, I think one of the number one things is check out a demo of our show. I'd love to do a demo for your administration. The other big thing is our Spotify channel is huge. So make sure you check us out. Go subscribe to us on Spotify and subscribe to us on YouTube. Those are our two biggest channels. I put stuff on
Awesome.
Instagram too and
Awesome.
TikTok because that's just where those are just platforms for
Yeah.
music. But go check us out on any of those platforms. Twitter, I just don't see anything with Twitter. I really,
Right.
and there's a part of me that's like,
It's
oh, Twitter could be an
politician.
underdog,
Yeah.
because everyone's like, nah, Twitter's
Yeah.
not for musicians. Like it's
Right.
just maybe
Yeah.
it could be, I don't know, but I feel like we get so much.
Staying
Int-
away from it. Yeah.
yeah,
And we go back to those things that like know your audience and all that stuff. But I think you're doing a great job again. And my hope and prayer is that a lot more people get to know what you do and be blessed by your job because you're doing a phenomenal job. So we're at 46 minutes. I mean, I can stay five more if you can,
um,
because I usually tell my guests to take them to this little game of rapid fire questions.
yeah, let's do
You
it.
want to do it? And Marcus,
Yes,
you're still with us. I would love for you to play with us. So you have to answer the questions. Let's see. I am not choosing the questions. The wheel is. So
the
some of
wheel. Oh,
them,
wait, hold on.
yeah.
We need some music for the wheel. Hold on, wait,
A
spin that wheel
wheel,
again.
no.
Right? All right, wait.
uh,
All right,
oh, we got it. We got the question on it. Okay, I'm gonna hold on.
all right.
There we go. All right. I need you like record me a couple of sounds for this wheel because it's too quiet. When was the last time you shared your faith?
Oh,
Ooh.
every night. It's interesting. I was a big atheist. I didn't believe in God, and then when I divorced my alcoholic former spouse, I found my faith again, and I believe in God. I believe in the universe, and that's just
Oh,
like I can't control everything, and I just believe a higher power wants me to enjoy my life.
awesome. So happy for you. What is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
What's the weirdest thing I've ever eaten? I need to think about that. Oh, it's cow brains.
Oh my goodness.
Cow
They're so
brains.
good though.
But in France, it's a big deal thing. I forget what it's called.
In
So it's
Mexico too.
sweetmeats.
Sesos. In Mexico, it's sesos and they make them in tacos and they're so good. I
Tastes
have.
delicious though.
Yeah. What word do you absolutely hate?
Karen. I don't
Really?
even need to think about it. You know why? But I have a very specific reason. I have friends who are named Karen, and they're the nicest people in the world. I
Yeah.
don't subscribe. I don't like anyone who is racist. That is bad. Don't be racist. But like my friends, like I have like one of my nice friends. Her name's Karen. I feel bad that that's a name.
All right.
But
Well,
don't be racist.
yes.
Not okay.
What is the last thing you took a picture of with your phone?
Let's see. I hope it's not
Of
like me.
how like did you pay for extra memory? Because I see
Uh,
you have tons.
I here's a review I got from the Jacksonville Public Library talking about how I perform for 21 branches and I'm leading the charge in virtual early child events. Also, I was looking at this Tony Robbins event and I'm like, I want to go to Unleash the Power Within. It's virtual. I want to see what they do. But, another reason is I also studied with Barry Baumgartner and Blue Melnick in their LEAP program, which Luria Petrucci recommended. She also went through that program, and they are some of the people who run his virtual events. And I got to see how they set everything up for their virtual events. Mind
Mhm.
blowing. He has like
Wow.
70,000. Him and Joel Osteen. Oh my
Uh-huh.
goodness, Joel has like 100,000 people
Million
on
people.
Zoom at his events, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I've seen that. Okay, here comes the last one.
Okay.
Let's see. And it says, have you ever had a bird poop on you?
Yes. Yes, I have. I was running in my hometown and a bird just straight up pooped on me.
Some people say that that's good luck. I don't know about it because I haven't had it done. I mean,
Listen,
years so.
we got in a car accident in Uber at my wedding, and
Oh,
people said that was going to be good luck. And
oh
turns
my
out
gosh.
it
Yeah,
was not.
right. Well, I personally don't believe in luck anymore, but
No,
anyway, so man, thank you again. I have a little something for you before
you
we
do.
go.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, yes.
Confetti and just celebrating everything that you do, everything that you are. And I just, you know, hope that you keep doing and running the race because you're changing lives, man. So I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're changing the world one virtual event at a time,
Awesome.
and I love the confetti. The confetti is absolutely amazing. And
Yeah.
I just want to say, Marcus and all of Anna's followers, thank you for watching today's show. Make sure you subscribe to her channel
Please
because it
do.
is an awesome, awesome community. And I think there's no greater gift than creating a virtual. You know what? Let me also say this: being famous is bupkis. Being famous is being. You know why being famous is terrible? You get harassed by weirdos
Yeah.
all the time. I'm seeing this
Right.
now
Yeah.
with some of my friends. So I think the name of the game. My dad said this to me. He's like, "Stay as small as you can for as
Yeah.
long as possible."
Mm.
So like. I think finding a tribe of people who love what you do, you're making good money, that's the name of the game, you know.
Just having Marcus on your side, it's a win for me. Like
Well,
that's
I would
makes a
say
deal.
the last thing that's also really helped us a lot is we have these great memberships for daycares and preschools and elementary schools, and
Mm.
folks will sign up one show a month. It's super affordable, super reasonable for your budget. Parents love it, kids love it. We come in on the smart board, the flat screen TV, and we have a bunch of schools who we work with all over the country, and it's a joy. And
Yeah.
our content changes up every month. So
That's
that's
awesome.
that's something that we do that's really really fun. And if you guys want to join our membership, it's really amazing, and it's super duper fun, and we're a nice little family. So yeah, man.
Great. All right. And all the websites and all the ways that you can connect with Matt are going to be in the comments. So check those out, connect with him, follow him, and see all the amazing things he's doing. Thank you, Marcus, for being with us. And everybody that will watch this on the replay, because I'm getting more replays than lives right now, but it's summer. So people like to walk around and stuff. Let me know. Let me know in the comments that you watch this, and we'll send you some virtual popcorn, right, for the replay. All right. Well, Matt, thank you so much. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to love Jesus, obey Jesus, and tell everyone about him with what you do and how you sing and, how you behave. All right. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Matt.
Bye, friends.